to recent events. The script was written and everything was mostly shot before everything kind of happened, but I'm going to put a couple links in my description to places where you can donate to the protests and such. And I just want to make it clear right here and now that I am wholeheartedly for the Black Lives Matter movement. I stand with them, and I've personally, signed all the petitions I can. I've donated some bail funds and memorial funds, and I wholeheartedly implore you to do the same, especially if you can't go out. I just want to make it clear that I am sending all my love and all my warmth to everyone standing against injustice. It's really sickening that this has gone on as long as it has. Yeah, I'll put some links in my description. Stay safe, especially if you're participating in protests. Know how to deal with potential, tear gassings and such. Just be careful. Know that you're standing up for something really important. Okay, hi, I'm actually filming something else like I said I would. I know I said I'd have better mic quality by my next video, but there's this itsy bitsy thing going on with a global pandemic, so things are shipping out at an extremely depressing rate. The point is that I bought it. I bought it with COVID government money and income from my first paid writing thing in the local art scene, which I am still so amazed happened. I might get the check framed. And because I have all the government and arts money, I'm buying a bunch of stuff that I didn't think I would before. I'm going on a donation spree. I might buy a tablet. I wrote out my budget and everything on this extremely messy little piece of paper because I am trying to be, and get ready for a hell of a segue, I'm trying to be productive. Why are there planes outside? I'm filming a video for all 31 of my subscribers here, bro. Come on. Anyways, whether or not it's splurging or just making stuff, the point is that I've gotten a lot of things done since quarantine set in. Anyways, you're probably wondering, what's my secret? There are several. I've basically kind of just taken a bunch of little productivity tips and just kind of created some abomination that combines them all into something that works for me. But before I get into that, I want to say that productivity can mean whatever you want it to mean. And in the grand scheme of things, productivity means nothing. I personally am productive because I like it. Anyways, you don't need to be productive to have value, and productivity doesn't determine your value, and I just like to put that at the start of this video because productivity is a capitalist lie. It's just also one of those sweet, sweet lies that I wake up and tell myself every day. And also, a lot of this is going to be themed around schoolwork and art stuff because I am a full-time student, part-time artist. Anyways, love ya. Let's get into this. Okay, so this first piece of advice was actually kind of given to me by a mentor. Like I mentioned earlier, I had the honor to participate in a poetry and playwriting mentorship. They gave me money to learn stuff. And also I just, made a lot of friends and made a lot of little creative things that I'm really proud of. Anyways, this piece of advice was again bestowed upon me by one of the playwriting mentors. They had this really nice philosophy about the idea of not pushing yourself too hard. Because a lot of us don't have the time, energy, or resources to just kind of hammer out a novel in a month. Side note, NaNoWriMo is why I have an anxiety disorder. But I can't overstate how important it is to know your limits. One way to know your limits is by, drumroll please, daily minimums. The quota that came up in my mentorship was 100 words a day, and I try to get that every day with writing, sometimes on multiple different projects. I'll try to do 100 words on an article, 100 words on a novel, 100 words here and there, and it just adds up really fast. And of course, 100 words is just a suggestion. I usually end up doing way more than 100 words. And once I'm especially comfortable with a project, I can kick up the output and go for a 200 minimum. That's what I'm doing with my digital novel right now, and it's really helping. Also, digital novels can apply to more than just writing. For example, I try to use that with music. I'll say, in this day, I want to get, this one verse done, or, I want to assign chords to this one section of the song, and, so on and so forth. Back when I was in university, I would try to study for 30 minutes a day minimum, and I'd usually end up doing more than that because I'd be I'd only have a few pages of notes left, and I'd be write a little bit more. You can also work by timing yourself if the idea of output is daunting for you for whatever reason. For example, you can you can just see how much you get done in 20, 30 minutes, whatever. Anyways, yeah, daily minimums, a lifesaver, and they add up so fast. Okay, so this one might be just me, but I'm gonna recommend it anyway because it helps. And this is my video, so I can do that. Don't you just hate it when you're trying to work on something and you just can't find the motivation? Your creative baby is just kind of, dead in your arms, okay, maybe dead isn't exactly the right word. Maybe I don't know, comatose? Anyways, I say comatose because most of the time you find the spark for that project sooner or later. But in the meantime, what if you're still trying to get those daily minimums? What do you do? I suggest multiple outlets. At this given moment, I have a lot of projects on my roster, as I've implied a bunch of times and as you probably know, so we're not gonna rehash it. I say outlets and not projects for a reason. If all you do is write, you'll burn out way more often. If all you do is make music, you'll burn out way more often. You gotta have a good, healthy mix of what you're doing. I find that really helps keep my brain kind of happy, and it means that I don't risk burning out. But if you have a bunch on your plate, but not necessarily on your plate because you're not rushing yourself. Basically, put a bunch on your plate, but make a lot of it optional. You're not putting it on your plate per se, but you're putting it on the table essentially, where you can sample as you please for the day. So every morning becomes a wonderful buffet. This one might also be just me, but it's also one of the most useful, so I'm going to recommend it anyway, and that would be the agenda. I use the agenda to keep track of daily minimums and stuff, and what I want to work on in a day, and even things like doctor appointments. Basically anything I want to do and get done, I write down. Writing, music, exercise, calling a doctor, etc. There is no better emotional high than getting to check something off a list. Okay, so this next one is really, really important, and I'm just gonna cut to the chase. It's the social aspect. Hanging around with like-minded people has always been really important to me in whatever I do. People who share those ideals and stuff has kept me going when I felt like giving up. Pre-COVID, this meant showing up to local arts meetups, signing up for those kinds of things, just kind of going where people are, connecting on social media. And post-COVID, it's pretty much the same. Everything's just over Zoom now. Honestly though, I cannot overstate the importance of having people in your corner, especially in extremely stressful times like this. It doesn't really even matter if you do things differently or have different goals. Maybe you're a SoundCloud rapper and the person next to you just likes, playing old country songs on guitar. You're drawn together by a love of music and art. Maybe you want a record deal and the other person is a hobbyist. That still doesn't matter because you love something. You love the same thing, even if it's again, different genres, different goals. Maybe you're an artsy type who just enjoys poetry open mics and the person right next to you actually uses slam writings to pay rent. I know those kinds of people. They're called poetry hustlers, and that amazes me every day, even though it's also really scary to think about just living off your art. Or if we cross paths, you'll be stuck with me, the artsy jack of all trades, is just throwing everything at a wall to see what sticks, and is theoretically okay with a day job because a day job does not reduce the value of someone's art, but also, just wants to make art. But that's not the point of this quite yet. Seriously though, whatever you do outside of artistic spaces, being able to enter them is a privilege. Genuinely, I feel like most at ease when I'm with my writing cohort or at the local studio meetups. Those are just some of my happy places. They're not my best friends, but they provide me with something very special that's definitely a need that is always fulfilled by being there. You can make friends, you'll learn stuff, and you'll also do some networking. It's life-changing. Another epic change. I'm just a mad woman like that, I know. Anyways, this final point, time for good attitude. I know that having a good attitude can be really hard, especially stuff concerning productivity, and especially if, like me, you're the creative type. There are all these weird unspoken rules and expectations, and they're the worst. Having a day job is some kind of taboo to a lot of people. If you aren't giving your all to something, then it's not worth it, or it's worth less. There's this idea that if you don't make money or gain something from something, then it must be worth less value than someone who does get a lot of money for what they do. And that is dumb. You shouldn't be ruled by oh god, is that my cat? Onyx! Don't do that! Criminal! 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 Being good at something doesn't mean you have to devote yourself to it. Because there are a lot of really good artists and stuff who would hate doing art full time. Anyways, this is gonna sound immensely tacky, but I genuinely believe that love and positivity and a good time should be at the core of everything you do. It's true you won't be able to prioritize it all the time, but it should be a core aspect of your end goal, spreading love and positivity. And this isn't me being a hippie and saying let's just all be nice. Let's all be nice, because being nice doesn't always get the job done, But self-care, help others. Just find that good balance. Anyways, tragic backstory incoming, but I know how hard it is to be happy. Trust me, before quarantine, my life was in the dumps. I'm not gonna get into the details, but I'll say this much. I was nearly institutionalized, and I still have night terrors on occasion about everything that happened to me, And I'm like on medication now, and every time things get bad, I get like this weird stress-induced spasm. So like, I know how hard it is to be happy. I know how hard it is to like, you know, always look on the bright side. Trust me. Every day, I basically have to like consciously fight against all this garbage inside of me and, you know, try to look past it. There's essentially this part of my brain that's just like, you know, No Children by Mountain Goats playing over and over again. I'm getting off topic. I saw it on TikTok again, and the song's been stuck in my head ever since. But the point is that every day I fight against it. I choose happiness. I decide to focus on my friends and my art and, like, you know, even just little things like, you know, giving my cats some extra love or trying to go outside or just, like, you know, hugging one of my many, many stuffed animals. I'm not joking. This isn't even half of them. Like, just things like that. You won't be able to always be happy, but again, it should be part of the end goal, whether it's the end of the day or, like, you know, it should be like the goal of your life, to find what makes you happy and move towards it. I make my art because it makes me happy and it makes other people happy. I try to stay in touch with my friends and always spread like good vibes towards them because they deserve all the good vibes. I try to smile at strangers. I try to donate on the regular. These past couple months, you know, I've been trying to, like, you know, give 5 where I can, give 20 where I can, give 10 where I can, just because helping people feels good. And this isn't me like bragging about it. This is me saying like give $5 to something that you're passionate about. Like, just do it. You will feel so good. I think that's why they make you do volunteering in high school, so you don't become too depressed. Wow, this got dark. Anyways, for whatever reason, doing all these things just makes me work harder and better than ever before. And yeah, it's good. Yes, another outfit change. Sorry, my personal life has been chaotic. Anyways, wow, things got dark. How can I lighten the mood? I'm a lesbian. I'm a lesbian. I'm a lesbian. Men hate me because I dress like a cartoon and have body hair. I know my entire astrological chart, or at least up to like Venus, which is still more than a normal person should know. I collect toys because that for some reason helps me with my depression. For you. For making it through this whole video, if you did. He doesn't have a name. If y'all have any ideas for names, let me know, because in conclusion, I hope at least one of these has, like, you know, kind of stood out to you and maybe become something you can integrate into your day-to-day life, or maybe even more than one. Personally, all of these have kind of come together to make a lifestyle that works for me, and maybe that'll be the case for you, and if not, that's totally okay. Everyone's different, you know? Hopefully next video I'll have a mic and not be stuck doing this, but, yeah, we'll see. In the meantime, like and subscribe, but only if you want, okay? Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Love y'all.